So, we just got the lab information back on your SES, and it came back positive.
Oh, great. Now I won't be getting that discount on my employer's medical insurance.
I understand how that can be frustrating for you.
Frustrating? It's outright annoying. My employer's insurance is already expensive, and now it's going to cost me more.
Would you mind answering a few questions about your smoking habits before you leave today?
Sure, I'm already here. Might as well be interrogated.
I understand how it can feel like an interrogation with all the questions you can be asked, but thank you for giving me this opportunity to understand your situation.
No worries. It's my problem anyways. Go on.
From what you said so far, it seems like you're frustrated with your smoking habit.
Well, yeah, it's costing me money every time I buy a pack, and every time I get a paycheck, they withhold my insurance payment, and both aren't cheap.
So what I'm hearing is it's a large financial burden for you.
Not a huge one, but big enough to make make me notice it every month.
Have you ever thought about quitting?
Of course, many times. I've even tried to quit here and there, but I've always gone back to smoking.
What gets you motivated to quit?
Well, it's definitely a financial hole I keep throwing money into, but I know it affects my health in a negative way.
So what I'm hearing is that you're motivated to quit because it's a financial burden and health risks associated with smoking are relatively bad for you.
Yeah, and I guess the biggest issue is with my daughter.
Oh, would you mind explaining how she motivates you to quit?
It's not her exactly, but it's the potential for her to have grandchildren. Her and her husband have been thinking about starting a family, and it's been having her to read some books regarding new moms.
Take your time.
And every time I see her, she says she won't even come around if she gets a single whiff that I've been smoking while she's pregnant.
That must be hard for you to hear.
It is. Like I said, I've tried to quit, but nothing has ever worked. I want my daughter to be able to come by when she's pregnant, but if I keep smoking, she won't. So I guess I don't blame her either. With all of the talk I've been hearing about the harm smoking can cause, especially to babies, makes me think that she shouldn't come around.
Oh, to make sure I'm getting everything straight, your primary reason for wanting to quit is because you want to be there for your daughter and for your grandchildren?
Yeah, that's precisely why.
You also stated that you've attempted to quit multiple times, but with limited to no success, correct?
Correct.
Could you tell me a little bit about why you smoke? What do you think brings you back to this habit?
I guess I've never really given it much thought. I mean, I suppose it's the stress at work.
What is it you do for a living?
So I've mostly been working in civil road construction for most of my life. I'm a bit of a night owl and work mostly second and third shift, so with all the construction that's been going on between Milwaukee and Kenosha, I put a lot of mandatory overtime. The pay is good, but the hours are long and exhausting, and tobacco just helps me get through it.
Do you mostly smoke at work?
No, usually I put a dip in and suck on that during my work hours and smoke a few cigarettes during my break.
What about your time off of work?
Well, when I do have time off, I usually have a cigarette or dip in my mouth.
So what I'm hearing is you smoke almost around the clock.
Well, yeah, I guess. It sounds pretty bad to hear myself say I smoke all the time.
One. How have you tried to quit?
You know, the normal stuff. I've tried to stop buying cigarettes, but I just end up buying more dip. I don't really know how I've tried to quit, I guess.
Well, let's talk about quitting. Is there a goal you'd like to meet?
Geez, I don't know if I could just quit. I mean, I told you about the times I tried. It just didn't work. I just don't know how I can go from what I'm doing to being smoke-free.
Well, it doesn't have to be all at once. You can set yourself small milestones that could potentially lead to you quitting completely.
I think I could do that. How small are we talking?
Depends.
On?
How small do you want to start?
Well, I could do with shaving off a pack or two a week.
How many do you usually have?
Usually? Well, about 8 to 10 with a few canisters of dip.
If that's the case, I would agree that a small goal of dropping a pack or two a week would be a good starting goal.
Yeah, it's good to talk about the goals, but how can I hope to maintain my goals?
Well, just let me summarize what you said so far so I can make sure we both understand your attempts at quitting.
Sounds like a good idea.
Okay, well, it sounds like you've tried to quit and have only tried to quit cold turkey, correct?
Yes.
Well, nicotine is a highly addicting, and you probably experience withdrawal symptoms during your cold turkey quits.
Yeah, I was pretty agitated and forgetful during the first few days I stopped. I guess that's why I started again.
Are there techniques you use to stay motivated about tasks at home, like saving money for a trip or for a new commodity?
I've never really thought about it. One time I did make a thermometer diagram for when I was saving money to go on a family trip with my wife and daughter. It kept me from spending my money on unnecessary items when I saw it.
Do you think that type of motivation could help you with smoking cessation?
Maybe.
How so?
I could make another diagram and fill it every time I have a pack of cigarettes or a tin of dip and try to keep it from reaching the top.
That sounds like a wonderful and creative idea. How easy is it for you to smoke?
What do you mean easy?
Sorry, what I'm getting at is how accessible is smoking for you? Do you have a place set up to smoke? Is there an area in your home or work with packs of cigarette and ashtrays?
Well, yeah, where else am I supposed to put my ashes and buds? Wisconsin gets cold in the winter, so to smoke comfortably outside, it doesn't really happen. I just keep most of it in my garage.
Would you be willing to remove that type of environment from your space?
Oh, I get it. If I make it harder for me to stop, it'll help me quit.
You said it.
I'd definitely be able to and be willing to remove cigarette ashtrays from my garage. I could also keep the pack of cigarettes at my work to keep them out of sight and out of mind at home, hopefully.
That sounds like a great idea.
My daughter would probably like that too.
So how are you feeling so far at this point in our talk?
Pretty good and confident.
Great. Would you like to set up a follow-up appointment in 2 weeks?
Well, that does sound like a good idea, sure, but I don't think my insurance is going to cover it.
Don't worry, we can do it over the phone. It'll take 15 minutes and won't cost you a thing.
Really? That'd be great.
What times and dates are you available?
I can talk 2 weeks from now on Wednesday at 6:30 if that works.
Perfect. Then 2 weeks from now at 6:30 a.m. on Wednesday, we will do a over-the-phone follow-up.
Great. I can't wait to try out what we talked about.
Thank you for coming in and have a nice day.
You too.